Well, hi everyone, I'm Andy Greenberg, and this is...
I'm Carole.
And guess what? I'm high.
You are?
I'm high.
What are you high on?
I'm high. I can't tell you. No, I'm high, I really am. So I'm going to say some things and do some things, and you might say, boy, this guy's nuts. But you might be right, because I'm high.
On life?
Oh, Carole, you ruined it here. Yes, very good. Now, she didn't ruin it. Yes, and as you know, these are unrehearsed. These are impromptu, never rehearsed. So, yes, I am high on life. Now, the moment you heard me say that, I wonder how you felt. You might be saying, listen, Andy, listen, this time you're really off your rocker, because how can you be high on life? You're going into the 7th month of this virus, and there is no end in sight. So you might be saying to yourself, you know what, I think I'm going to tune this guy off today and come back in a month because I think this time he's nuts. But I'm going to tell you not to do that. And here's why. We're going to be going over some motivational things, and it's not this attitude and belief and everything else that you've heard about. These are motivational vignettes that I actually made up that were on national radio for 5.5 years every day. They were 1 minute, and there were about 2.5 million listeners listening to these every day. Now, obviously, in the time we have together, am I going to do all 1,635 original vignettes?
No.
No. So I picked the best for you. She doesn't even know what I picked. So, and did she hear all my broadcasts?
No.
I can't say that she did. Did she hear all?
If I did, I probably can't remember them because
All right.
it was so long ago.
So here's the way I want to start off. Here we go, Carole, and I want everybody to listen. All impromptu. I'm high. I want to get you high just on yourself. So here we go. Carole,
Yes.
who's the person you admire most in this world? Come on.
I guess Frida Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo.
She's my favorite artist.
Why?
I like the way she painted. I liked her story. I like the way she painted.
You're wrong.
I am?
Yeah, give me somebody else.
Who?
I want to know another person that you admire the most.
I don't know.
All right, ready for the answer?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I admire the most.
Who?
Me.
You admire you?
Yeah.
The most? Okay.
You see, what happens is, that's a bit of a trick question, okay? When you sit back and you say to yourself, do I admire myself or am I down on myself? You see, if you're down on yourself, guess what that's going to do to the rest of your personality and the rest of your day and the rest of the outlook? It doesn't mean you should be egotistical. Egotistical says you share your admiration for yourself with others. That's what I don't want you to do. I don't do that. What I want you to do is I want you to share the things in your own head that you admire about yourself. I want you to think about your successes, not your failures. We'll cover failures later. I want you to think about your successes. I want you to think how you got there. So, Carole, what do you admire about yourself?
I admire a lot of things. I admire my rise through in business, and I rose pretty fast because I believe that I was viewed as capable and clever and creative. I admire the fact that I'm an organized person. I admire the fact that I pretty much have a good outlook on life.
Okay, when you say pretty
much.
No,
I mean, you know, like you say, people say every once in a while people have a down day, but so you don't say 100% of the time.
You see,
say most of the time.
You're holding back, and I know she's holding back. So let me tell you something about what she should admire about herself, and then I want you to do the same checklist. But listen to this. We moved to Omaha, Nebraska, after living in Manchester, New Hampshire for 4 years. That was a job transfer for me, okay? Now, she didn't know anybody there, but she wanted a job in preschool, Jewish preschool. Ah! So she marches into somebody's office, whatever her name is, it doesn't matter. She presents herself, and, well, you tell the story.
I walked into the place, which is the JCC, and I said, I'm here, and I am looking for a job. And they said, well, we don't have any openings. And I said, but when you do, you will call me, and I'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. And guess what? A couple of months later, they called me, and I was there for under 25 years.
Yeah, but you're holding back. So what happened when the person called you? What did you say?
I said, I'll take it.
That's right.
She called me and she said, how do you know what I'm going to say? I said, well, I figured you're calling me. I said, I'll take it.
Okay.
But you don't even know what it is. I'll take it.
You see, that's chutzpah. And I know every one of you have chutzpah, because you know how to pronounce it. So if you know how to pronounce chutzpah, you therefore have it. And that's what I want you to admire about yourself. The other thing she's not telling you is she got all these magnificent jobs that normally require a higher level of education, which she didn't have, and she still kept on going up. So you sit back and you say to yourself, I admire myself because boom, boom, boom. What do I admire about myself? Quite frankly, I presented her a reason to say yes when I asked her 100 times to marry me. And she finally said yes. So that basically is number one. And the moment you start admiring yourself, come on, you can tell me, you can share with me, what's that doing for your mood? And I bet you there's more than one. So your assignment of number one is to write down all the things that you admire of yourself. All right, let's go on to something else.
Okay.
Do you carry a picture of yourself in your wallet? I could be part of it if you still have a wallet. Most people have phones.
On my phone, there's pictures of you and I.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when you look at yourself, what do you think?
It's pretty... I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you know what, Andy? Come on, you're not being...
But everybody wants to take a really good picture. So they probably take a million pictures till they get to the good picture.
Yeah, which one do they keep?
The good picture.
The good picture. Don't matter. You were able to take a good picture, okay? You didn't stop. Oh, the ugly picture, you can't see me. You didn't smile, look better. So here's what you got to do. So listen to me. So there's something that I know a lot of people do, especially as we age, right? We look at pictures of ourselves, and when we were younger, and we say what?
Oh, if only I could turn the clock back, or only if I look like that. Blah, blah,
well,
blah.
guess what? You did look like that. You looked like that. And that is a good thing, because I want you to think about how many people did not look like that. I want you to think about how many people would look at a picture of somebody else and would say, I wish I looked like that. Now, that's where models and marketing come in. But come on, that's 0.5% of the world population. It's nothing to be worried about. But the fact of the matter is, I want you to take a look at your picture back in the old days and even today. And yes, you don't look the same. I understand that. But you know why? I'll tell you why. If you look at a picture that you took of yourself recently, I can almost guarantee you, what do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know.
That they have a scowl.
A recent picture?
Yeah.
Well, because of the last 7 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably have a scowl. You know that there's the ventriloquist guy. Oh, come on, he's got this dummy. The guy's got a Jeff Dunham. Thank you. He's got a scowl. I forget the name of the puppet.
Oh,
he's got.
yes.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah, the guy. You know who I mean.
Mr. So-and-so.
Yeah, right. Good scowl. Don't go.
He's always grouchy.
Don't be grouchy. Don't have a scowl. What do you got a scowl for? Then your next assignment. And I want this, and I want to see it when this is all over. Every one of you is going to show it to me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a camera or a cell phone camera, or have someone take a picture of you when they come in or whatever they do. I want you to give that great big smile. I want you to pretend that you were exactly the way you were in the picture when you were younger. Skull. Give me a smile. Practice it right now. Here's what I want you to do. This is going to be funny. I want you to give me a scowl. Give me a scowl. Come on, right? Then that's not a scowl. Come on, give me a scowl. Yeah, you go. That's it. No, you're not paying attention.
Well, because I can't scowl.
Because she's normally happy. Keep the scowl. Come on, will you please? I got more things I want to cover. There you go. Now smile. There you go. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to have a scowl. Come on. Have a scowl, and then I want you to smile. And then, the next time you feel, and if someone sees you wake up in the morning, I want you to turn that into a smile as if someone was taking a picture of you. Because that is what's going to get us through. And guess what? I'm telling you, people that do that have a much, much better chance. All right, let's go on to another one. I want you to name a hero. Think of a hero. Come on, we got time.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Why?
Because she broke the glass ceiling. She fought for women's rights.
Okay. I hate to do this to you.
What?
You're wrong.
I'm wrong? Okay.
What do you think the right answer is?
Based on what you said before, the right answer is I'm the hero.
She's getting it. She's getting it.
Yeah.
Now, am I wrong? Oh, you shrug your shoulder. You obviously think I'm wrong. Why am I wrong?
If you're gonna do definitions of heroes, then and what's going on now, the heroes are the first responders and the people who are taking care of us. Oh. Those are heroes.
Okay. Now,
I'm going.
What are the traits that make him a hero? And I agree with it.
They're giving. They're unselfless. They're dedicated.
Courageous. No fear.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm sure a lot of them have fear, but they're trying to get over it because that's their job.
That's courage. No fear. Okay. Now, guess what?
What?
Why don't you have the same characteristics? No fear, courage. No obstacle will take over for me. I am a warrior. I know that there are obstacles out there in life, but I don't care. I'm going to overcome them. Why can't you feel like that?
And we can.
Yes.
But we don't actually view ourselves as the hero because that's sort of presumptuous.
What do you mean by presumptuous?
It's like the self-egotism.
No, you don't go around with a big shield. Hi, I'm Superman. You take your shirt off. No. But in yourself, it's all a mindset. You get up and you say, I'm a hero. I'm not a captive. And that's the difference. Because today, many of us, and there are many of us, who think of ourselves as a captive. And I understand that. We have to be totally realistic. Life is not the same the way it was before. And I got a hot news flash for you.
It will never be.
It will never be. So what does the hero do? The hero says, you know what? That's the way it was. This is the way it's going to be. Not forever, but for longer than we would like. And at the end of this, I will be able to say to myself, and to myself, not to others, I was courageous, I was fearless, I went with the flow, I made the changes, I adapted to my environment, because as I've mentioned many times before, it could be a heck of a lot worse. It's not the way we want it, but it could be a heck of a lot worse. And I came through this is going to surprise you, you might get upset with me, even as a better person. Because quite frankly, if prior to all this, somebody would have said to me, you're going to be doing this, that, and the other over the next year and a half, meaning not having the freedom you want, not having the socialization you want, not seeing the people you want. You're not going to do this for a year and a half. What do you think you would have said to yourself?
Oh my God!
Not me.
To you?
No, to yourself.
I was saying, oh my God, I can't do this.
You can't do
it. Crazy.
You're crazy. But you are doing it. You might not like it, but you are doing it. And you know what that makes you? A hero.
A hero.
Makes you a hero. And never lose that in your moment. All right, let's go on to something else. Here we go. What is, I'm going to ask you this. I don't think I've ever asked you this. What is the most outrageous thing that you have ever done?
The most outrageous thing that I've ever done was go parasailing with you up in the sky. Okay. That's the most. Oh, and then the second most outrageous thing was to do the zip lining.
Zip lining.
Yes.
Right.
Those were outrageous things.
How do you feel about yourself now that you've done those two?
Cool. That was pretty cool. It's like almost like going on a roller coaster ride where you're fearful. You start climbing up. You don't want to do it. You can't wait for it to be over. You go down and you go, oh, that was fun. I might want to do that again.
Oh, you're going to go parasailing again?
No,
well, you're contradicting yourself.
Once was enough. I tried it. Once was enough.
You just said, why don't I do that again?
But that was the roller coaster ride. That wasn't a parasailing.
What's the difference?
I'm not doing parasailing again.
So here's the point. How do you feel after you just talked about the most outrageous thing you've ever done?
It was fun. I have a great memory of it.
Yeah, good. And what is that doing to your mood?
Makes me a good mood.
There you go. So I know every one of you has done something outrageous in your life. And you know what? I dare say probably more than one or two things. Okay? Yeah, probably done more than one or two things that's been outrageous, but I'd just go with two of them. So here's what I want you to do. I think you're getting into the mood, and we're going to cover different topics too. I want you to think about the most outrageous things you've ever done. And here's what I want you to do right now. Either put them in your head or think about them and write them on a piece of paper. And anytime you feel down, which will happen, low, I'm going to rephrase. Anytime you feel low, to get yourself high, I want you to think about those outrageous things that you accomplished. You overcame. You said, I'm going to do it. And then I want you to think about the moment you figured out that you did it, just like her. I want you to replay in your mind how great that felt and what is happening to you as you think about it. So, how are we doing so far?
Good.
Are we getting high so far?
Yeah, we're in a good mood.
All right. Here's our next thing I want you to think about. I want you to think about Etch-a-Sketch.
Etch-a-Sketch. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a fun game. I always liked that. Played with that.
Yeah, Etch-a-Sketch. Yep. And what did you do after Etch-a-Sketch? After you did the design?
You erased it.
And did what?
Do it again.
Yeah. Do you have an Etch-a-Sketch at home?
I don't have an Etch-a-Sketch.
No. And what was Etch-a-Sketch?
It was a toy.
Yeah, but what did you design with it? I mean, what type of graphic?
Just shapes and mazes and
Shapes and line and circles.
Pictures or whatever.
All right, so let me ask you a dumb question. If I had a pencil and paper right in front of me, and I didn't have an Etch-a-Sketch, and I said, you know what, I'm going to recreate what I did on Etch-a-Sketch, would you have fun doing that?
No.
Oh, why not?
Because the Etch-a-Sketch is like a toy. It's a contraption where a pencil is more tedious.
Well, I think you're missing the point.
No, I guess I am. I want Etch-a-Sketch. You got my. I feel like having an Etch-a-Sketch now.
The point is creation.
Creation. Well, I guess, yeah.
Okay, the point is creation. And I know this. Listen up. If you had... You call it. Why is that?
You have to think.
Why not?
One, it's something like the manual. You're playing with the dials and everything like that, and you can erase it. Where the pencil is, you can sketch it out, and then you don't like it, you have to take an eraser and erase it. It's more manual.
Oh my gosh! You throw out the piece of paper and you start with another one.
Okay, fine.
Please.
Fine.
It's the same thing.
Not.
It's the same thing. So listen. If you have nothing to do, which happens. I want you to take a piece of paper and a pencil, pretend it's an Etch-a-Sketch, okay? And what did you do? You drew lines up. You drew lines, what is this? Horizontal, vertical. You drew vertical lines. You drew horizontal lines. You drew circles. And by the way, Miss Greenberg.
I don't believe you could draw circles. Oh, yes, I guess if you maneuvered it a little bit.
That's correct. Yes, you could. All right? Yes.
Right.
All right. So, if you start doing all those things, by the way, you have an opportunity to create something. And you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be like the picture right behind me. It gives you something new to do. Are you going to like what you create? Did you like what you created on Etch-a-Sketch? No.
Just hodgepodge.
It's hodgepodge. Thank you. It's hodgepodge. Okay, now do you see the relationship?
I see the relationship.
Thank you.
So really what you're saying is the Etch-a-Sketch was a form of doodling, and if you take a piece of paper, most people doodle. They doodle aimlessly, and the doodling is kind of fun because you can doodle without even looking at the paper and see what ends up.
Yes. And then you're happy with your creation. Even if you're not happy with your creation, you were still happy doing it. But you know what? It gets you to think, and it gets you to do something totally different that you would not have thought of before. And I got to tell you something. Once in a while, I take a piece of paper that I've always drawn an airplane, and I've always drawn a little man. And every time I did it, I absolutely enjoyed it. All right, let's go on to the next one. What is more contagious? Let me read, even before I give you choices. Beside diseases. I realized what I said before I said it. But I'll make the example work anyway. Aside from diseases, what are two things that are contagious? Aside from diseases.
Laughter is contagious.
Okay, good.
Because sometimes you have no idea why someone's laughing, and they start laughing, and you automatically laugh with them. The other thing that's contagious is good mood, I guess, is contagious.
Yeah, and what's the opposite of a good mood?
A bad mood.
There you go. Would you agree that two things that are contagious is misery and enthusiasm?
Yes.
Okay. Now, misery and enthusiasm are contagious. What was the other thing you mentioned?
Laughter.
Laughter. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. And I actually did this with my 6th graders. I do 6th grade teaching on Zoom. And, you know, just about every class they want to be there. But this one particular class, I noticed automatically that they didn't like it. Okay, not me, but they just didn't want to be there. Maybe they had too much school. So you know what I had them do?
What did you have them do?
I had them do phony laughs. So what did they? I said to the boys and girls, have a phony laugh. Come on, make it up. That's funny. Here you go. See, look what happened right there. Look what happened. No, you're really laughing. Come on, don't hold back. You're really laughing. I can tell the difference.
I know.
Her face is turning red. When her face turns red, it's not a phony laugh. So you see what happened? What is wrong with doing a phony laugh? Please tell me. Please tell me. By the way, what's wrong with laughing? And by the way, what's wrong with smiling? Now, we talked about for the camera, but watch this. It has been said that when we are younger, I'm repeating that intentionally, that we smiled at least 300 times a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
But you're saying when we get older?
And pre-COVID, I'm going pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, we smiled. How many times a day do you think?
200.
5.
500.
No, 5.
Oh, 5 times pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Before COVID, in normal life.
5 times?
That's all people smiled.
Wow.
That's right. That's all people smiled. And then you wonder why people are... You can't do that. You've got to smile. And I'll tell you something. I had my own TV show once. And it was very good. And my very first episode of filming, I had a producer, I had a director, I was the executive producer, I was a talk show host, and I was very lucky to have an official ABC network producer there. I didn't hire the guy. He happened to be in town visiting, and he happened to be in the studio that day. I'll never forget this. And he produced excellent shows. What was that show about the lady who came in to be a nanny? She's not the nanny.
Oh, Fran Drescher?
No, not the nanny. The one where the kids were misbehaving, and she came in from England, and she corrected all those kids.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, he produced that show and a couple others. So at the end of the show, I said, be honest with me, how did I do? And he said to me the following, you've got very good natural talent, but you got to do one more thing. And then, man, you're over the top. I said, all right, what is it? I'm willing to listen. What do I got to do? What do I got to train? What do I have to do? And what do you think he said? That's it right there, smile. Smile! He said, when you smile on camera, the world smiles with you. But, you might be saying to yourself, Andy, I got nobody to smile to. The world won't smile to me if I'm in my place alone. I got nobody. Yes, wrong answer. When you smile, who else smiles with you? You. Come on. If you have a good meal, smile. You hear a joke, smile. Somebody calls you on the telephone, smile. Any chance you get, stop with this 5 times smiling a day. Smile as much as you can, because that is what gets you high. And you know what else gets you high? I do this all the time. It annoys the heck out of her. What do I do when I'm...
Sing.
Oh, yes. I sing. Yeah. Good voice, bad voice, on tune, off tune, who cares? Whether I know the words or not. I run around singing. I used to do that when I worked. I used to drive people crazy. I didn't care because guess what? Eventually they sang with me, and guess what? They became happier and higher, so to speak. So I want you to sing. I want you to smile. We talked about that before. But I also want you to remember what is contagious. Enthusiasm and misery. So, what should they do? Should they always spread misery? Not saying you do that. Or should you take a proactive approach and talk about enthusiasm?
Take a proactive approach.
Now, I'm going to be realistic.
You can't do that all the time.
I'll buy that. But you might be saying to yourself, okay, Andy, just give me one thing to be realistic about. That might be hard, wouldn't it? Here's the answer. Where you are right now, even if you're alone, even if you're in an apartment, where you are right now, what's there to be enthusiastic about? One day this will be over. One day this will be over. I don't know when. Now you might be saying to yourself, oh come on Andy and Carole, you don't live like we do. You go out, you go to restaurants, you do all this kind of stuff. Wrong. Okay? Wrong. Only place I've been, and I don't mind sharing this with you, the only place I've been in the past 7 months is a supermarket, a doctor's office, Lion Country Safari in the comfort of my car. And then just recently for a birthday, yes, I was outdoors all day with a mask, just Carole and I on the Intercoastal Waterway. That was it. So yes, we are practicing what we're preaching, yet I wake up every morning enthusiastic, knowing that there are things that eventually this will be over. And once you begin to do that, that's when the courage comes in. That's when the optimism comes in, because you know it will be over. All right, let's go on to another one. I want you to pretend for a moment you're right in front of an elevator. And the elevator... You don't like elevators? And the elevator door opens up. Where are you going? Carole?
I'm going to the doctor's.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're asking me where I'm going in an elevator.
All right.
I mean, lately, where do I go in an elevator? Okay, if I'm in that was pre-COVID. If I'm in a department store and I want to get to the next level, I'm going in the elevator.
Ah, okay. So how do you define the next level? The one that's lower?
Floor number 1 or floor number 2 or floor number 3.
All right. So how about you? What did you think about when you went into an elevator? Here's my point. And you might think I'm a little bit stretching here, but bear with me. Are you going up or are you going down?
I'm going up.
There it is.
I'm going up.
That's what I want you to think about. You walk into the elevator and you go up, but I'm going to make it a little bit tougher. Watch this. You walk into the elevator, pre-COVID or post-COVID, and there are 5 people in the elevator. This one's tough. Listen up. There are 5 people in the elevator, okay? The door closes, okay? But nobody's pushed a button yet. In other words, I'm going to redefine it. 5 people go in on the ground floor. Let me change it. 5 people go in on the ground floor. You're one of them. You're one of them, okay? And you all go in. Who is the first? And you go to the next floor, okay? Somebody leaves, all right? And there's a button that has open door, closed door, all right? Now, I know after a couple of seconds or a minute, the door closes. But you look out. There's nobody there. Ain't nobody coming in. Ain't nobody else leaving. Who pushes the button to close the door? I do.
Yeah.
Do you? Do you?
He says, I'm your elevator man. Which floor would you like?
Well, I'm not even going to talk to the people. Okay. Forget about that. But you think I wait for the door to close? I'm not going to shut anybody out. It's not like the New York City subway station where you're trying to get into it and the conductor pushes the button just to get you mad and then you got to wait for the next local or express to come. No, 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 no. So, when you go into the elevator, just bear with me, I don't wait for somebody else to push the button. I want to make sure nobody's there. And yes, if there's nobody there, and I'm not going to wait another 30 seconds for the door to close, don't waste my time. I push the button. So what does that have to do with life?
Don't wait for something to happen. Do it yourself.
Who's in charge?
We're in charge.
That's right.
We're in charge.
That is right. You are in charge of what happens. That's right. That silly little thing about an elevator, you're in charge as to what happens. You're not going to wait around. You're going to take charge. You're going to be in control of your destiny. You're going to conquer this. You're going to be the individual who's going to say, yeah, I'm in charge. I'm not waiting around for these things to happen. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to keep safe. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to keep others safe. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be happy. I'm not going to let these outside environments impact and affect me because I'm the dude or dudess. I made that word. No, not dead. Dudess with an S. I'm the dude or dudess that goes into the elevator and pushes the button and keeps myself in charge. And when you do that, how do you feel?
Like you're in charge.
Do you feel high?
You're in charge.
Okay. And I want you to think about going up in that elevator. That's a very, very important thing. All right, how many of us have ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
We watch it.
Yeah. Who's one of the stars of The Big Bang Theory?
Jim Parson.
Jim Parsons. Yep. You know how much money he made in the last season on every episode? This is every episode. Every episode. How much money he made on the last episode? That last season?
$15,000 an episode.
23.
$23,000 an episode.
$1 million.
$23 million. Oh my goodness.
For the year.
For the year. Oh wow.
$23 million. It was 15 or 20 episodes. Over $1 million an episode for a half an hour worth of work.
Well, it's a half an hour show. I'm sure it wasn't a half an hour.
All right, they had the rehearsals. They didn't put more than 10 hours into it.
Whatever.
Imagine how much that is per hour. What's my point? Here's my point. If you study the history of Jim Parsons, he participated, and the number's right, in 30 different television pilots that they asked him to star in. Every one of the 30 failed. Did he give up?
Obviously not.
No. He gets a call from his agent. Listen, they're doing a show. It's a Chuck Lorre show. And I know you auditioned for 30 things before. Everybody liked you, but the networks didn't pick up the show. Do you want to try again? What do you think Jim Parsons said?
Yes.
What would you have said? I quit. It's not worth it. I don't want to do it. These things are flops and failures. Think about it. What would you have done? Jim Parsons said yes. And he goes in there. He does the read. It's all written up. And he had his rhythm. He was able to do all these cockamamie words. You think chutzpah is hard to pronounce? You ever watched the show to see all the scientific stuff the guy remembers in his head? Unbelievable. So to the point, he gets the job. That's my point. As dismal as things are, there's always another good thing coming. Because I want you to remember this. For every exit door, that's also an entrance. I want you to remember that. Every door that says exit, on the other side, what does it say?
Entrance.
Enter. Yaha! Don't think of the negative. Every door. And this is another stupid expression I really hate. You know this one? When one door opens, closes, when one door closes,
another opens.
What a stupid thing. Why is that stupid?
You don't like it?
I hate it.
Why?
It's dumb.
Why?
Dumb.
Why?
Because the other door has always been open.
I see.
The other door has always been open. Yes. All you had to do is get out of the room. You're the dude or dudess that opens the door, gets out of where the heck you are in your mental state of life, and you open the other door that's always been open and welcoming. Nothing has to fail for you to get to something better. So if you're ready to get out of a rut or a misery, don't wait for the door to close because then another one will open. The door is open. Just get out from where you are and get the heck in there and be a Jim Parsons by always remembering and always saying things will work. Now, how many of us have ever heard of Noah's Ark? Yeah.
I heard of it.
How many of us have ever heard of the Titanic?
I heard of it.
Okay. What's the difference between Noah's Ark and the Titanic? I don't expect
the Titanic sank. Noah's Ark did not.
Okay, good. Now, here's another difference.
What?
Watch this. Who built the Titanic? I don't want names. Who built the Titanic?
A company.
Yeah, professionals.
A professional.
Yep. Who built Noah's Ark?
Noah.
An amateur.
An amateur.
Never built a ship in his life.
Right.
By the way,
he had a list of what to do from God.
Oh yeah. By the way, you know how long it took him to build it?
How long?
600 years.
What?
Yes.
What?
You didn't know that? Really? 600 years it took him to build the ark.
And he never gave up?
Never gave up.
Oh, that's a story.
No, it's a truth. No, what do you tell me? It's a truth. That is the 600 years.
So he was over 600 years old?
Well, yeah, a lot older than that. And they lived old in those days. But he didn't give up. No, he kept on going and going and going and going.
Where he got all the supplies from?
There was wood there. They had trees. They make the wood. Listen, it happened.
Okay.
We know what happened. Nobody disputes it. We can talk about that some other time.
Okay.
But here's the fact of the matter is, you don't have to be a professional to have all these, to get high. You can be the amateur. You could be the one that rises above it all. And not be the one that sinks. And thereby is a difference. You think Noah knew it was going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights? I want you to think about this. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, and on and on and on and on and on. Wow! What did he think? This is never going to
end.
Now, even worse than that, let me ask you this question. Very important question. During COVID, how would you like to have over 300 animals in your apartment with you?
I would not.
You want 300 animals in there? No!
Yes, but give them something to do. They had to go downstairs to where the cages were and feed every animal and all that. They took up the whole day and everything. They were like, oh, the day is shot. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and I bet you if he had an Etch-a-Sketch, he could sit there and doodle instead.
Yeah, no, but they invented Mahjong.
I was going to go there. Yeah. All right, go tell them about it.
No, you tell them.
You see, in the International Museum of Mahjong, there's a little thing up there that says it is thought, not proven, but it's there. So if it's in a museum, it's got to be somewhat credible and realistic. It is thought that the game of Mahjong was invented in Noah's Ark during the 40 days.
So that makes you wonder how the Chinese got credit for it.
Yeah, that's somewhat. Well, that's easy to figure out because look, he took it off. Who says they got credit for it in the first place? Maybe they're the first ones to play it.
They're the first ones to play it.
I don't want to go through the whole biblical thing, but we'll catch up on that later if that's okay.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
So we'll catch up on that later offline, and then we'll accept it. So anyway, here's the point I want to make because you got me off the target here.
I'm so sorry.
So we were talking about so it's 40 days. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, when the heck is this thing gonna end? Did he have an internet? No. Did he have a TV? No. I don't think God told him 40 days and 40 nights. No. On and on and on. Then one day, it stopped raining. The end is near. The good end. So, the good end is near. Not the bad. So he takes the dove and he sends him out. And he's very optimistic. And then what happens?
The dove comes back.
With
an olive branch.
No.
The first time the dove comes back,
without an olive branch.
There's nothing there.
Hey, what a sense of disappointment. So we went through that, didn't we? We said, okay, maybe the COVID numbers are going down. And then all of a sudden, hey, it's coming back. All right. So he sends a dove out again. The dove comes back, right? Boom. Is there an olive branch? No. Hey, my God, another disappointment. All right. Then he sends a dove out again. Dove comes back with the olive branch. Yes, we're getting off the boat. So what's the first thing Noah does? You don't know this. What's the first? I don't think you do.
What does he do?
He gets drunk.
He gets drunk?
He does, true. He develops, the first thing he plants is a vineyard. He had to have a glass of Manischewitz. Had to have it. Or Magen David, whichever one you prefer. In those days, they had both and probably some more. So, okay, what's the point? He was an amateur. He was going through the same things we were, and he knew God was with him. I'm not going to get religious on this. So he knew God was with him. But when you think about many of these things, you've got to get high on them. You have to be able to say to yourself, you know what? This starts to make sense. It really, really does. And I want to tell you, it redefines what it is to be a happy person. Because in the past, someone would say, happiness is money. Well, guess what? You can have all the money.
They don't say that. They always say happiness. Money cannot buy happiness. So I don't agree with you. Because the phrase is money cannot buy happiness.
Yes. But
it helps.
Yes.
But it can't.
Right.
It helps. Everybody wants it because it makes your life easier. But it doesn't buy you happiness.
Right. But
because if you're not a happy person, it doesn't buy you happiness.
Right. But here's my point.
Here's your point.
Here's my point. You can have money, but in today's world, it's not going to make you that happy.
Isn't that what I just said?
No. So what will make you happy is when you define what happiness is. Okay?
And it could be the very simple things in life.
It could be the very simple things in life. So here's something else I want you to do. And this might sound trivial. You might have heard this before, but I don't care. So here's what I want you to do. In addition to all the other lists that we talked about, I want you to start writing down what makes you happy. Okay? Now, you can do it pre-COVID, post-COVID. And I know one of the things you're going to say, which is going to be hurtful, is that it makes me happy to be with my grandkids. I understand that. I got grandkids too. Okay? But that is something to look forward to. That's the point. And you can still be with the grandkids. No, you can't hug them. I got that. Okay? but you can Skype them, you can Zoom them, and if you don't know how to use Skype and Zoom, you can go ahead and call them on the telephone, because I want you to imagine this. You know, during, was it 1918 when they had the Spanish flu, which was, I guess, pretty bad, and they couldn't hang out with their grandkids? Did they have any of these modern ways of communication? No, they had nothing. So that's something to be happy about. At least you can hear their voice. And if you know how to use the technology, at least you can see them. It's better than Gunish. It's better than nothing. So go ahead and list things that make you happy. Now I'm just going to change the subject for a moment and show you how you can take nothing and make it into something which you can do too. Watch this. On July 8th of 1908, the very first paper coffee filter was created by a housewife by the name of Melita Benz, B-E-N-T-Z, German. You know, back in those days, you didn't know this. Maybe one or two, 1908, what do you think? So back in 1908, she wanted to remove the bitter taste caused by boiling loose grounds, coffee grounds, or using the particular method of linen to brew coffee. There was a lot of bitterness, and as a result of that, she invented something that we use today, except in the Keurig machines. I don't see them anymore.
No, but in the drip maker.
In the drip maker. And that is the coffee filter. So she took something and she solved the problem because she was optimistic about it. She wanted to find a solution for it. And you know, pre-COVID, we always used to say to ourselves, what's new? And the answer was nothing. Same old, same old.
And now
status
say
quo.
What's new now? Nothing.
No, I'm not there yet. Not there yet, okay? Nothing. So back in the nothing's new, same old, same old. Okay. And what did we do as I said that? I put the frowl on, the growl on, nothing's new, my life is boring. All right, I got it. But now, what is new? This whole COVID thing. I know we want it to end. The whole COVID thing is new. And I guarantee you, you've got new skills that you never thought you had. You're doing things you never thought you were able to do. And you've adopted and changed your life. That's new. So you know who's new? You. Are you better off because of it? Oh, you're saying, no, I'm not, Andy. I want to go back to the old ways. And you will. That's the enthusiasm and the optimism that I want you to think about. You will. It is just like a tree that has no leaves in the fall and winter. And do you think the tree is depressed? No. What happens? The leaves come out. And Carole and I went through that. Oh boy, did we have. You know, when we lived in Manchester, New Hampshire, remember this? We were very fortunate to have a swimming pool in the backyard. Now, how many months out of the year do you think we were able to use a swimming pool in the backyard? Maybe 3. To listen to this. So the day we had to close the pool, what did we do? Do you remember?
We started a countdown of when we would open up the pool.
Yes, we did, because were we depressed that the pool was going to be closed down? When I put the stuff over it, yeah. But then we went into the kitchen. We had one of those whiteboards, or whatever they call them. We had the whiteboard, and we put down the date that we're going to open it, and every day we would get up, and what's the first thing that we would do?
Oh, one more day down to the pool.
We didn't count how many days we didn't have it.
How many days we're going to get to it.
Right, we counted how many days we were going to get to it. And yes, you might say to me, Andy, I don't know when this whole thing will be over. Well, you know what? I'm going to say March or April by the time the vaccines come out, because our age group are going to get it first, okay? So I think that's not too far from realism. And if I'm off by a month, let it be, okay? So what do we got? November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. I got good news for you. Listen to where'd you come up with this stuff? I got good news for you. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
We're into it for 7 months.
Yes.
We only got 5 to go.
Oh, what a deal.
Count down. Don't say, hey, I've been struggling for 7 months. My worst enemy shouldn't have this. No. I got 5 months left to go. There's hardly anybody in politics or science that says that something won't happen by springtime. Okay, I got it. Vaccine, therapeutics, whatever, and things will lighten up. Okay, and if I'm off by a month, I'll apologize in March. But what that happens is I want you to think down 5 months. We've been through 7. We have less to go than we've actually been. And that's the key. And that's where I want you to be high. And that's where I want you to be happy. And that's what I really want you to think about. So let me recap where we are. And let me see whether or not you're going to run around smiling. I don't want the frown. I want the smile. Because I want you to remember that you should admire yourself the most. You are good. I want you to think about when you carry a picture of yourself, to look at that picture and say, darn it, that's me. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. No matter what's happening, I'm feeling good. It's all up here. And I don't want you to say, hey, I'm looking back at my old pictures. I looked better then. Forget about it. You know why? Because when you were younger, what was the one thing you wanted to do?
Get older.
Get older. Guess what?
You got older.
If I'm talking to you,
you got older.
You made it. One time somebody said, you know what, Andy? No, I asked somebody, how you doing? He says, great. He says, what's your goal in life? He says, I want to live forever. I said, really? He said, yeah, so far I'm doing a good job. So, yeah, come on, smile with me. It's funny. You got to do that, okay? I want you to think of yourself as the hero. I want you to think of yourself as the most outrageous thing you have ever done. Definitely, I want you to think through that. I want you to doodle and design and become creative and think about all the wonderful things. I want you to become enthusiastic that you've only got 5 more months to go. I want you to share that with other people. I want you to be optimistic when you're talking to your friends or your family on the phone, on Zoom, on Skype. How you doing? Miserable, can't take it anymore. Hey, you know what? I only got 5 months to go. We're doing well. I'm learning new things. I'm happy with the way I'm being supported here. When you're in the elevator, you push the button because you're in charge of the way you feel. You in charge of the way you are always going to go up. You're going to think about Jim Parsons, who was neglected and turned down 30 times, but then hit the jackpot. Then had the Big Bang Theory. Then was the one. And I want you to think about the fact that you are Noah, okay? You didn't know when it was going to end, but once it did, you were happy that it did, and you were able to get out with your family. And yes, sirree, when you get out of there, go to the bar, get yourself a drink. And say to yourself, l'chaim, to life. And that is what I want you to look forward to. So, Carole, I started off high.
And you're still high. You're even higher, I think.
I think so. I think so. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty high. I am.
I know you are. And how about you? Are you going to sing now in your apartment? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, he has a great voice. But
thank you.
He just doesn't know he just doesn't know the words. It's like, he doesn't know the words.
She's right. I can't say I don't know the words. I don't know the words. The Hebrew stuff I know, but the English stuff I'm not that good at. But anyway, but the good news is I have a good voice, so I use it when I use it. Anyway, here's the point. Get high. When somebody says to you, how do you feel? Answer this way. I'm high. That's all. Look at this.
You'll get a reaction.
You'll get a reaction. Come on.
What do you want?
Come on.
No, they'll say, what do you want? Can I have some?
You want to do something outrageous? That's it. You want to do something outrageous. You want to put a smile on your face. You want to put a smile on somebody else's face, whether it's on the phone or wherever it is. That's it. From now on, someone says, hey, how you doing? I'm high. Yeah. There you go. I bet you're laughing. And if I got you to laugh, then this was a successful time that we spent together. I'm Andy Greenberg, whose middle name is I'm High.
I'm Carole Greenberg, and I'm along for the ride.
We'll see you next time. Take care of yourself, okay? And stay high. We'll see you later. Bye.